Hi everyone, so I had the full intention today to film a really summery, really fun, kind of sunny, get ready with me video, but I woke up, I looked outside and literally all I can see is clouds and rain. I can't even see the hills that are behind me because there's just clouds absolutely everywhere. So I think that one's going to be put on hold for now. But I had some free time to film anyway, so I thought I would kind of just put some makeup on for you because that's always fun. Now when it comes to holidays, and especially the kind of holiday that I'm on right now, which is just a very chilled, very relaxed, beachy holiday with my family, I don't really want to put anything on my face. I don't really want a full face of makeup, and I'm not really that bothered because nobody's going to see me. I'm not trying to impress anyone here. But I do still enjoy the process of putting on makeup, and I think it's just nice to kind of look a bit more polished sometimes. If I'm going to go and venture out maybe into the village or one of the towns around here, I might just slap on a little bit of makeup. So I'm going to show you my kind of minimal holiday makeup look, which is very similar actually to my regular everyday minimal makeup. But I've got a few new products in the mix, and I know you guys kind of enjoy these more pared back, simple makeup looks, so I thought I would do one for you today. My hair is going a little bit crazy at the moment because the humidity in this place is just extreme. So this started off as kind of straight hair and it's now looking a bit Montagella, so I'm just going to kind of push that out of the way. Let's not even talk about it. Okay, that's a slight improvement. So I'm going to start with a base. The base is a kind of optional extra here. Sometimes I'll just go completely for concealer just around my eyes and then a tiny bit on any blemishes that I might have. And having just come back from America and kind of living on a not particularly healthy diet, there was lots of cheese and lots of carbs involved. My skin has had a bit of a freak out. It's definitely calmed down a lot more now, but I've got quite a few blemishes just on this side of my face, which I think is quite strange. I don't know why they've just stuck to there and not affected the other side of my face. I think it might be something to do with the way I sleep maybe. If you're an expert on that, please let me know. So because of that, I am going to opt for a separate base as well as a concealer today, and of course it's going to be my Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue. I've talked about this so many times, you're probably sick of it, but I don't think I've actually used it alone in a makeup tutorial. I do enjoy mixing this in with more full coverage foundations as well, so I think I've got a video where I've done that, but I haven't actually used it on its own, and it's just my favourite tinted moisturiser. It's such a nice lightweight texture. It's very different to any of the other tinted moisturisers I have because it kind of feels a little bit watery. It's definitely not oil based. It feels really nice and really light. By the way, I'm actually filming this without a mirror because I couldn't find one, so this should be interesting. The buildability of this is really lovely. You can definitely use a brush to give it even more coverage, and even just blending it in with your fingers gives enough to kind of give a really even complexion, which I think is great because I don't really have to worry about bringing two different bases with me. I can just use this. Somehow I completely forgot to bring concealer with me on this trip, which is a bit of a nightmare because I definitely rely a lot on concealer. So I picked one up while I was here and I'm testing this out. This is the Rimmel Match Perfection Concealer. It's kind of a squeezy tube with a little brush on the end. I think this is more of a highlighting concealer, but I've been using it around my face and I do kind of like it. It's quite a good coverage. There's not a lot of control with the packaging in terms of how much product you actually get out, so you just kind of have to squeeze and hope for the best that you're not covering yourself in concealer. And then I'm just going to use this pretty much all over my face, so a bit under my eyes where I need it the most, and then on any little blemishes as well. And it's a really nice concealer actually to work into the skin. It blends in nicely with foundation and it looks very skin-like. So keeping everything super simple just by using those two products, and I'm not going to powder them to set them. I think those kind of formulas work together nicely. It's staying on my skin without becoming too greasy or shiny. And instead of using a contour and a bronzer, highlighter, blusher, all of that, I'm literally just going to stick to one product and use a bronzer all over my face. So this is from Hourglass. This is the Ambient Lighting Bronzer, the Radiant Bronze shade. I've talked about this a lot already, but I really like this one for just using all over my skin. So really bronzing it up, giving a bit of warmth, a bit of colour, and taking it on my forehead, on my cheeks, down my nose, just pretty much everywhere that I want a bit of colour. Especially for someone like me with fairer skin, it really does make such a difference at how awake and alive and how bright and fresh you look. It really is a great step at just giving yourself a bit more of a polished look without really having to use too many products at all. So I'm just using a big fluffy brush to take this all over my skin. I'm going to start kind of at the top and work my way down, so a little bit on the forehead, down my nose, and then on my cheeks. I'm going to take it down the sides of my nose as well and kind of connect up the bronzer on my nose and on my cheeks, and I find putting it across the tops of the cheeks all the way like this just makes you look really sun-kissed and a little bit more bronzed than usual. I'm going to brush up my brows and pencil them in as usual with the Soap & Glory Archery pencil, and I don't really tend to go any lighter than usual on my brows just because I think a bold brow really just makes a makeup look and pulls everything together, so I stick to my normal amount of boldness when it comes to brows. I do want to put a little bit of something on my eyes, so I'm going to use this by Terry Ombre Blackstar in Misty Rock. I love this shade. I think it's such a pretty colour. It's really different to anything I've ever come across in an eyeshadow stick like this. It's sort of a purpley silver taupey colour, but it makes for a nice, very simple eye look, and you can use this in so many different ways. You can use it as a liner, you can do a really sheer wash across the lids, or you can build it up to be quite dark. I'm just going to take it quite lightly across my eyes just to give a bit of extra definition, but I don't want it to look overpowering or too dark and smoky, so I'm going to really buff out with my fingers. The consistency of these is just so beautiful. They're so smooth and silky, and they just blend so easily. That's all I'm going to do for eyeshadow. Really easy, really simple. And then I'm going to use the L'Oreal Telescopic Carbon Black Mascara. Again, this is one that I've picked up quite recently. I actually bought this in America, and I've been trying it out, and I really like it. I didn't think I'd get on with this at all when I saw the wand, because there aren't really any bristles on this at all. It's a really, really strange one. It's so thin and skinny, and there's literally nothing to it, but it manages to give my lashes such a nice amount of definition. It really, really lengthens them. It's incredibly lengthening. I'm slightly puzzled as to how this mascara works so well, but I'm not complaining because I think it looks really, really good. So that is a super simple, really quick and easy minimal makeup look today that you could probably get done in under 5 minutes had I not been rambling to the camera so much. I think I used about 5 or 6 products there and only a couple of brushes too, so a really great space saving one if you are packing quite light for a holiday. However, it is summer, and although it doesn't feel particularly summery outside at the moment with all the rain and the clouds and the generally miserable weather, I do really want to use a nice bright, fun, summery lip colour, and I think as well when you're wearing quite a minimal makeup look, so very minimal base, not much on the eyes, you can get away with wearing quite a bold lipstick and it's still looking quite everyday, and it looks a bit more modern and fresh that way. So I'm going to use this one here, and I'm very, very excited to finally have this in my life. This is from NYX. It's one of their matte lipsticks in the shade Indie Flick. For many, many years now, I have watched Chelsea from Chelsea Wears use this lipstick and been completely jealous of how amazing it looked on her, and that I couldn't actually get hold of it here in the UK. But finally going to the US, I managed to pick it up, and I'm so glad this is in my life because it's just such a beautiful corally, orangey toned red colour. And these NYX lipsticks are such a bargain as well. I think they're about $4, maybe $5, and they're just such a great matte formula. They're really moisturising, but they stay nice and velvety and matte, and they just last for a really long time. So I'm going to put this one on. I've also bought quite a few more of the shades from the rest of the range, so keep an eye out for those in my US beauty haul, which will be coming very, very soon. As soon as I get home, I'm going to sit down and film that for you. So that is my minimal summer holiday makeup finished. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a like if you did, and subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!